Bill Keggy, Revelator. This is Aurian Archive, and welcome back to Build Theory. Today, got kind of an odd one, and it's a player who's trying to make a build for a robotics force field mastermind. Now, for the strictly record speaking here, the only reason that you would ever make a robotics force field mastermind is if you did not want to do a single thing at all in the game. I'm not going to say that it's the most uh, boring set that you can possibly do, but it's really, really close. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I've actually got a couple of mastermind robots that I've already done in the past. Both of these I actually use. One is my the mastermind, a remake from what I had on the live server, Pembroke. And Pembroke is a Bots Dark. Okay, well, I've also got kind of an updated reimagining of Pembroke as a Bots Nature, which was built solely for taking down Reichsman in the Khan and Barracuda task forces. Reichsman is basically a mountain of HP, so you have to generate a metric ton of regeneration debuff or max HP debuffs in order to even have a shot at him. Most of my AV hunters, giant monster killers, can't even scratch him. Bot's nature, on paper, has the debuff potential, uh, but I've never had the time really to go after Reichsman using my bot's nature. I've never actually completed the build, so there's that. So starting then, which of these might be a better option to build a bot's force field from? Well, as intriguing as our um, bot's nature is, and our we'll shrink our nature here a bit so we can see the dark on the bottom. As we compare them, our robot nature is well, soft cap defense to smashing lethal, but not a lot of anything else. Our bot's dark is soft cap to energy, negative and ranged, but with Darkest Night is also pretty much soft cap to smashing and lethal against most minions. So our dark is probably a better starting point from raw survivability, not necessarily debuff potential. The nature has a metric ton more debuff and resist potential. As we can see here, the resists are much higher, comparatively speaking, than they are over on the dark side. However, we've got a lot of. Okay, and I'm pretty sure. Okay, can you see that? Okay, you may not be able to see it on the dark, so we'll bring the dark to front. But on the nature, you can see that I have taken most of the secondary powers. I haven't really done anything. I'd skipped entangling R, but there's not a lot of room to move here. Looking over at the dark, though, and we'll bring the dark all the way up to the top. Here we can, as I realize that, hang on, give me a second while I actually get the dark showing. There we go. Hi, dark. There's our dark. All right, now it's a little okay. Now it's a little more clear. There's our soft capped range defense. Our negative is so close, and with Darkest Night, even against AVs, it's already there. So our dark is a little bit more survivable against a wider range of targets. That's why I still run it on a regular basis. And I did not take 1, 2, 3 slot powers in here. I didn't take the self heal either because it's junk. Uh, excuse me. Looks like I may be hitting the water early on this one. Okay. So this is right offhand, the bot start and probably going to be our easiest place to start from to convert to a bot's force field. So we're going to clear out our robot nature. We're probably not going to be able to port too much of that over cleanly. And we'll swap it over to Mastermind Bots. We'll go Bots Dark. Okay, now we got 2 bots dark. And we'll bring the one in the back up to the front. Alright. Actually, how do I want to do this? Since our totals won't really matter for the moment. We'll do it like this so that you can see the powers, hopefully, that I'm taking. Okay, and we'll make this one our work window, and this one our hold window. Whoa, I just turned something off. Or let me bring up the previous version, R2. What do I have in 30? Why is 30 unslotted? I'm somehow missing a power, and I'm not sure why. Let's see what this looks like in what I actually built it in. Okay, and we'll bring pines to the front. Open. Alright, mastermind, bots dark. Alright, and that one just corrupts out. Huh. Something had to go in 30, and I'm not sure what. Combat jumping, corp robot, mystic flight. Give me a second while I can, Alright, Twilight Graph went to full heal over. What's our R1 look like? Okay, R2 was R2 Delta. Robots Dark. R2 Bravo. Ooh, crash out on R2 Bravo. That may be the. Yeah, give me a second here as I figure out why I've got a missing power and why it's missing, hopefully. Mastermind. R2 Bravo. Okay, looks like originally I had Victory Rush in there. Okay. Mastermind, R2 Charlie. Still had Victory Rush. So I had Victory Rush all the way up to R2 Charlie, and then I went to R2 Delta. Okay, so we'll assume then, for the sake of building, that 30 was still supposed to be Victory Rush. Hang on. Okay. All right, we'll assume that that was supposed to be Victory Rush then, and we'll work with that. You know what I'm thinking is I may have made this build change before at or around the same time that we were testing the new endurance modifications. So I was either going for Victory Rush or I might have been trying for no. I put Spirit Ward too late for to go Rune of Protection for a proc, or I may have been thinking about Inflame, which would have been more useful. Okay, kind of for the purposes of making a backport, uh, we're going to swap Spirit Ward, and we're going to plan on taking Inflame, and we'll think about putting some more slots here. If when we get to it, we'll go with a. Uh, do I have an accuracy endurance? Uh, got a quad accuracy recharge endurance. Okay, we'll go with. Oh, and another thing while I'm currently on this window, when I hit protector bots, and we'll bring it this one back up to the front so you can see. Uh, protector bots are supposed to also buff the player. And if if your protector bots buff you as well, then you should be put into straight soft cap to smashing lethal. Okay, so this is what is going with Inflame to keep on our either Dark Servant or our Assault bot. And this will kind of be what we'll work from. So we'll go ahead and save this as R4. And we'll come back over. We'll go ahead and tag this bots dark R4. Save. And we'll get open in the other one, bots dark R4. Okay. Now that both of our builds are synced, we'll go ahead and scoot that one back down so we can, because the totals won't really matter right now. And we'll swap our dark to force field. And lost almost all of our important slotting, but we kept our combat jumping, lost our resist procs, so we'll need to pick those back up. We kept Scorpion Shield. We still have Mace Beam Volley in here because we kind of do need to take Scorpion Shield, and we did keep Power Boost. Alright, so let's start dropping things that we're probably not going to need. Personal Force Field can go, and in place we'll move Equip Robot down. Dispersion Bubble can go down. And let's pick up Dispersion Field. Detention Field. Can we put anything in that slot? No. No sets whatsoever. So go ahead and take off Detention Field for now. So we have our Force Bolt, Deflection Shield, Insulation Shield, Force Bubble, which doesn't take any. So we'll go ahead and dump that for now. And what else can we do? Real quick. We're going to keep Mystic Flight because we're probably going to be making good use of Inflame in just a moment. Okay. Do we have a good place to put a resist? Doesn't look like it. Okay, I need to change the track. Alright, we're going to go with Manifest Blackout Instrumental. And then back into the builds. Okay. So we kept our pulse rifle, and where we stand is we really don't have much in the way of defenses anywhere. So we're first of all going to focus on dispersion bubble, and put in our look at the gamblers, defense endurance recharge. We're also going to pick up Kismet. And I do actually have a bubbly to build from. And we'll do, yeah, no. Well, I'll bring up the bubbly if I have to. Okay, probably also a good place where we can put our reactive defenses proc. And we already got our shield wall over here, so we're going to add a defense endurance recharge to there, defense endurance, and we're going to do our shield wall proc. Whoa, says I'm already using reactive defenses someplace else. Where am I using it? Maneuvers. Okay, we'll drop it from maneuvers, and we'll put it in dispersion bubble. And maneuvers will take to a straight defense endurance recharge. Okay. We're still really lacking a place to put a resist proc. But let's check our defenses first, because in deflection shield we'll have a look at the gambler, and insulation shield we'll have a look at the gambler. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've actually got 5 look at the gamblers placed already. So Scorpion shield, defense endurance, or defense endurance recharge. Okay, force bolt, we're probably going to need to do some knockback mitigation on to make it useful. Force bubble is probably droppable. Where do we stand on this with dispersion bubble? We're actually doing pretty good. We're almost a soft cap on smashing lethal. Okay. How are we going to get there? What am I running for? No, I do not have an incarnate power set yet, I don't think. At least it's not turned on. Okay, I had Vigor set for endurance reduction and healing. Okay. If I turn shield... Thing is, if we're going to drop those for now. As I think through this. Because we're really lacking on things we can do to help other players. Have to mitigate that. What's that look like? Oof, end cost 18. That's just going to chew through. Okay, what I'm working on in the back of my head is we'll go ahead and drop Force Bubble for now. And we'll take these slots off of 10. what I'm looking at is this is predicated on taking provoke so that you can contain the enemies. But okay, let me actually bring up an actual force field character so that you can get an idea of what the challenge is here. Force field is one of those sets that needs a revamp badly. It offers almost nothing to the player, almost offers nothing to the team, except for his anti-mez and defense capability. Top end, Clarion Incarnate, and uh, Cold Domination will give you oh so much more on the trail without having to sacrifice anything. Is that my phone beeping? Okay, Defender Force Field Radar R2. Okay, here she is. And let's get this up on screen. Window capture. 03. And okay, there we go. Okay, here's a defender. And as you can see on the defender, I skipped personal force field. I skipped force bolt. I skipped intention field. I took repulsion field. I did take repulsion bomb, and I did take force bubble. Took deflection shield, insulation shield, and dispersion bubble. I took all of the attack powers. Well, you don't actually get that many attack powers in robotics. So we're kind of stuck on things that we can take to improve our character. And just for reference, she's pushing soft cap to smashing lethal and not much else. So this is kind of the problem the force field poses is that some of the powers you can't put there are no sets you can use. And we can also see that on my is there like a bug here with level 30 just getting dropped? Or did I do Victory Rush on her too? Force Field Rand. Okay, here's a more recent. Okay, yeah. Here's a more recent build. And this is one where I dropped Repulsion Bomb, and I took personal. Okay, I did take personal force field for something. Um, what did I take it at? I took it at level 2. Okay, I took it to hold the shield wall proc. And skip force bolt, detention field, repulsion bomb. I took force bubble all the way at 49. I skipped X-ray beam. Uh, and scorpion shield, web cocoon, summon disruptor. This is kind. And I had lots of things put into victory rush. And she went all the way on ranged soft cap. So she could fire from range. So this may actually be a better build to pull from than the bots build. Let's get our windows. Okay. Now let's get this one resized down again. Keep it so we can see what powers we are taking or not taking. We're actually going to turn that off. Oh, whoops, wrong window. Okay. Now let's work backwards from our defender instead. So we're actually going to do a new clear. And we're going to skipping Force Bolt. We did take Deflection Shield, Insulation Shield, Dispersion Bubble, Force Bubble, and we're putting Force Bubble all the way down at level 49. Okay. On the robot side, we're taking everything but repair. Alright, then at 16 then, we're going to take... she went with Flight, but we kind of want Mystic Flight. Or, I want Mystic Flight to unlock Inflame, because we don't have a lot of damage potential. And Inflame is going to give us some of that damage potential back. So Mystic Flight, Spirit Ward, and Inflame. Early as possible. Now I went with... Next up, we want to go for Fighting with Kick, Tough, Weave. Alright, we took Victory Rush on her. So Leadership, Maneuvers, Tactics, Victory Rush. Now I went with a pet Summon Disruptor. We already have pets, so that's going to be kind of a moot point. But we are planning on Mace Mastery for Scorpion Shield. We've got one power left, and we're going to make it selected. This is what we've got to work with. And that's, by the way, what my defender looks like with Scorpion Shield turned on. That's how devastatingly different and how much enabling one single patron pool is. And this is why, again, the other patron sets are, you can't take them. Or if they do have a defensive component like Ice, you can take them in. There are some builds in which you can make another one work, but for the most part, you are never ever going to be taking anything but Mace as your first choice. Alright, let's get out of here so I can keep a better look at what we're doing. We know that some of this is going to be slightly different, but we're going to do Luck of the Gambler, and then Straight Defense, Insulation Shield, Luck of the Gambler proc, Straight Defense. Alright, Electron Haze was all the way out with a 6 slot, but we know some of our attacks aren't really useful. We're also probably not going to be able to take... Well, we don't have room to take Hasten, so we'll go ahead with the powers that we can work with. Dispersion Bubble. We have Luck of the Gambler proc, Luck of the Gambler Defense Endurance, Luck of the Gambler Defense Endurance Recharge, and Kismet. Alright, Kick. What do we have on Kick? Kick had a Blistering Cold from a previous build. For this one, we're going to go with Force Feedback, Chance for Recharge. Assault Bot, pass on now. Tough. What do we got in Tough? We've got... Woo. Let's watch those clicks. We got our procs. We got our Gladiator's Armor, TP Protection, and Manifest. Light it up. Instrumental. Woo. Get back here. Get back here, little window. Okay, Force Field. Tough. Alright, we have our Steadfast Protection, Resist, Defense Endurance. I'm going to plus this one 5. And then we have Unbreakable Guard, Resist Endurance. And then we went with Unbreakable Guard, 7.5% health. Weave, where's our Weave? Weave is 3 slots. Luck of the Gambler. Luck of the Gambler, Defense Increased, Endurance Recharge. Luck of the Gambler, Endurance Recharge. Next up, Upgrade Robot. We know this doesn't take any slots, so we're just going to right now do an Endurance Reduction. Pass down to Maneuvers. Maneuvers is 3 slot. Reactive Defense is Defense Endurance. Defense Endurance Recharge. Scaling, Resist Damage. Tactics, we had 4 slots. And we need A, because there is no toggle. And this is a problem. This is prime example of where it is a good possibility for another set is a toggle 2 hit buff. So, and I may do a stream on a toggle 2 hit buff, outlining it and how it should work to help Yeah, that'll probably be like tomorrow's stream, I can already tell. Victory Rush, we had it 6 slot out. And Victory Rush we're using as a chance for heal. And we're kind of being a cheaty little cheat sheet on this one. And the reason I say that is because we're using the chance for heal self, because we can cast Victory Rush. Well, it's got an insane recharge time. And as you can probably see, or let me, if I mouse over on the defender side, you can see that the Victory Rush recharge time is bugged. It's not showing a oh, this power's recharge time cannot be reduced. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I think it's reducing in game. I'm 99% certain it is. All right. Anyways, now I'm going to have to go check that because it's been a while since I've played a character with using Victory Rush. Since we now got the bottom recharge timers, hey, there's something to check. All right, we get nice little buffs on this, so no particular reason to change that right now. But it does give us at least a heal of some kind for a character. Next up, Scorpion Shield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Scorpion Shield is getting our final look at the Gambler proc. Defense Endurance Recharge. Power Boost doesn't take any slots. So we're just going to put well, actually, we're going to put a recharge in it for now. Force Bubble doesn't take any set. We'll just put an endurance reduction in it for now. All right, let's check and see where we are. Totals, Dispersion Bubble, Maneuvers. All right. And Scorpion Shields. And we are actually into soft cap on Smashing Lethal already with just this. So we don't need to worry about any more Smashing Lethal damage, but we probably want to try to get into ranged damage because we're going to be fighting at ranged a lot. But we can kind of stop worrying about where we're going to put variant powers. We can stop worrying about some things. Inflame. We'll work on this first. And this is an easy spot for either Artillery or Ragnarok. For right now, we're going to leave it at 6 slots and see where we get elsewhere. Assault Bot, our tank. Our primary guy. We probably want an ATO in this one. Probably Pet Resist plus Regen. And our top here would be 6% energy negatives, but we're going to leave that out at 6 slots. Battle Drones. Our other bots. We're probably going to want an ATO in here. And we're probably going to be doing the Superior Command of the Mastermind. And this one, our top ones are again Resist. So we're going to leave these at 6 slots. Pulse Rifle Burst. What is this? This is a single target attack. Probably a good spot to put Apocalypse. But we're going to bring it out to 6 slots just to see what we get. Same thing with Pulse Rifle Blast. Bring it out to 6 slots, see what we get. Equip Robot doesn't take any sets. So we're just going to do an endurance reduction on it. Photon Grenade. We do know that this will need to be mitigated. We don't know yet whether or not we're going to be using... whoa, hey. What? Wow. Okay, if you just are kind of going, what was I just talking about? What am I talking about now? Why am I going wow? We'll bring up one of the other windows, the one I'm not using, Bot Stark, and we'll swap to Blaster AR Dev to R2 Endurance. Okay. The robots are predicated on the assault rifle. An assault rifle M30 grenade, which is what Photon Grenade is based off of, has a knockback component that has to be mitigated. But